What? What? That's on camera. Simoo back on the lanes. Today I got the Hyper Venom from Motiv. I've been really liking all this Motiv stuff. It's making up like half my arsenal, to be honest. It's my first Venom ball and EJ keeps winning with the purple one. Hopefully this one's good. Good first shot, can't complain too much. Bowling on 43 feet today, a little bit longer, but we just bowled league. Quite a few games on this pair, so these pearls should be really good. The length is very easy with this ball. I don't feel like I have to force it or change my release or anything. The ball just gets down lane, knows when to hook. Two good shots. Little inside there, definitely seeing that it's very responsive to friction, so I really want to make sure that I get the ball out. Maybe the fade is the way to go. Keep it in the oil and let the ball really turn out that back end. Whew. Asked a lot from that one, but it responded. So if you've noticed, we're very excited this year to be working with Turbo. Turbo grips is what we use in the shop, and it's definitely the best in the business right now. As a bowler who's one-handed and uses my thumb, the most life-changing thing that I've gotten has been the Turbo switch grip mechanism. It allows me to get the exact same feel in all of my bowling balls, so changing balls has never been a problem. Not only that, they're super customizable, and I like to match it to the color of my bowling ball. What's sick is that you'll notice that my Hyper Venom here has a brand new pink outer. There's a couple new colors, there's a pink and a purple, so make sure to check those out at your local pro shop. And thank you again, Turbo, for working with us. Got baseline performance with that Hyper Venom. Struck quite a few times. Definitely know that inside is better on these longer patterns. Let's see how it looks like against another Motiv Pearl, the Nuclear Forge. Woo! You can tell that Nuclear Forge is earlier and rounder, maybe even a couple more boards of hook. Very flat, was a little fast and inside. Gonna try to slow it down, give it some time to hook. Should be better. Whew. Even though they're both pearls, you can see a difference in their cover stock. That Nuclear Forge is a few feet earlier compared to that Hyper Venom. Let's try to kick out that 4-pin. Took out the 4-pin, left the 9-pin. I think we got a really good comparison there. We moved a couple left there just to try to kick out that 4-pin. Still left a 9-pin. I want to see what that looks like when I throw this Hyper Venom here. You could tell that it's later and just a touch weaker off the spot, but good to see a big difference between the two balls. Just to make sure, try that one more time. Just a little bit too deep for that ball, but very predictable motion. Just try to throw a strike. That ball is vicious in terms of overall hook and down lane motion. For a low rev bowler like me, I don't get left that often, but I find that later in leagues, I feel a lot more confident. You can tell it's a big ASIM pearl, it's strong, it rolls a little bit earlier compared to the other two, and when it sees friction, it makes a huge, hard left turn. At least for me. Let's try to keep this one in the oil a bit longer. Didn't really do that. That's okay. That was my line during league. My body kind of auto-reverted. For real, back in the oil. So that ball allows me to move left, find more oil, and it digs really, really hard. Definitely the top end of my bag. I'm not gonna want anything that hooks more than that. And that's why we're throwing these other two balls today. Question time with Simoo halfway through the vid. Again, big shout out to Turbo. My question for you is, what grips do you use? I use a switch grip for my thumb and Quad Classics for my fingertips. but let me know down in the comments below. I think the sweet spot for this Hyper Venom here is around that area, but slower. What? That's on camera. This Hyper Venom is what we call quick in terms of its reaction, meaning that when it hits the dry part of the lane, it makes that left turn really fast. Knowing that, I want to keep the ball in the oil as long as I can, just to help it get down the lane, which the Pro cover already helps it do. So when it makes that hard left turn, it's already going through the pins. I'm liking what I see right now. I think this is going to fit in the lower end of my arsenal, really round it out with the effect. As you get more shots thrown on this pair, this ball just keeps getting better, even when I miss it right off my hand. Shout out to Turbo. Thank you for the t-shirts and all the merch. Hopefully you've been seeing on the channel. This one's for you, Turbo. Let's talk about this ball. Simoo back on the lanes after throwing this brand new Hyper Venom from Motiv. First thing I want to say is, man, does this ball look good. The bright pink colors, I love how it's solid, looks really good as it goes down lane, makes that turn towards the pins. A ball that I think suits my eye and is something that I want to be adding to my arsenal. Enough about the colors, let's talk about the actual ball's performance. I think this ball does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be quick off the spot and good for moderate to a little bit lighter oil conditions. For me, I bowled on a longer pattern with a lot of games after league on it, and this ball just got better the more that I threw it. Comparing it to the Nuclear Forge, Motiv does a really good job with that chart. You can see both of these balls are angular, but one's supposed to be stronger. What I like to see is that was exactly true. In my opinion, the Nuclear Forge is a perfect step up from this Hyper Venom here. It rolled just a couple feet earlier for me, and I saw a little bit smoother and stronger shape overall. The Hyper Venom was a touch weaker, but a very nice step down, so if you have the one, you could definitely have this one as well. Another thing I want to mention here is that this ball comes from a very proven line. The Venom Shock is one of the most successful balls on tour. We see EJ throw how many strikes with it every single year, and there's no question why that ball is so good. If you have that ball and you love it, this is going to be a really good combination to pair with it as the days get longer. And compared to my hammer effect, well, it's not really a fair comparison. One's a hook monster, this one is a shinier and quicker piece. But what I like to see is now I know what all these three balls do against each other. When I'm preparing for a tournament, I know that the hammer effect is going to hook a ton, especially as I get left. One step below that, I have my Nuclear Forge, which is a little bit more controllable, but still has a good amount of hook. And even further from that, I now have this Hyper Venom, which is going to be really good for dry oil conditions and even houses with a lot of built-in hook. For me personally, this ball is not something that I'm going to see every single time that I bowl, but for tournaments and whenever I'm going to a new house, I think this is going to be a must-have. Thank you again, Motiv, for sending us this bowling ball. Thank you again from Turbo for being our sponsors for this year. As I mentioned, Turbo came out with a couple new outer colors this year. If you're throwing purple or pink bowling balls, there's a lot of purple on the market right now. Make sure to get your hand on one of these. Answer my question down below, what inserts do you use? And if you're not using Turbo, might be time to make that change. It's a lot of talking from me. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one. Should be better. Didn't really do that.